When you're hovering on the brink of sleep and experience strange sensations or visions, you're entering what scientists call the hypnagogic state, or the hypnopompic state when waking up. This is a neurological twilight zone where the brain's strict divisions between external perception and internal dream generation begin to blur. During this transitional phase, your sensory processing centers remain partially active while your dream generation mechanisms start firing, creating a unique overlap where imagined sensations can feel startlingly real. This isn't a malfunction or disorder. It's a natural, albeit poorly understood, aspect of human consciousness. Research shows that up to 70% of people experience hypnagogic phenomena at some point in their lives, with sensations ranging from auditory hallucinations like whispers or knocking, to tactile experiences like touches or pressure, to visual phenomena like shadows or figures. Understanding this scientific foundation helps demystify what's happening in your brain during these moments, providing a crucial first step toward navigating these experiences without panic. While science explains the mechanism, esoteric and shamanic traditions worldwide provide a profound framework for the meaning behind these experiences. These traditions view the hypnagogic state not as a neurological glitch, but as a sacred and vulnerable threshold, a doorway between ordinary reality and other realms of consciousness. In many indigenous cultures, this liminal space is considered a time when the veil between worlds grows thin, allowing communication with ancestors, spirit guides, or other entities. Some traditions interpret these presences as guardians testing your readiness for spiritual work, while others see them as intruders seeking to feed on your energy or distract you from your path. The key insight here is that these experiences have been documented across cultures for millennia, suggesting they represent a fundamental aspect of human consciousness rather than random misfirings. By understanding this esoteric perspective, we can approach these encounters not with fear, but with curiosity and discernment, recognizing them as potential opportunities for spiritual growth and boundary setting. If you're experiencing these phenomena, you're not crazy, cursed, or alone. You're a frequent traveler at a powerful frontier of consciousness. The first step in transforming fear into fortification is establishing strong energetic boundaries before sleep. Begin with a simple grounding practice. Sit comfortably, visualize roots extending from your body deep into the earth, and imagine drawing up stabilizing energy. Next, create a protective intention by stating clearly, either aloud or mentally, that only energies aligned with your highest good may interact with you during sleep. You can enhance this by visualizing a sphere of protective light around your sleeping space. Many traditions recommend placing protective crystals like black tourmaline or selenite near your bed, or using cleansing herbs like sage or palo santo before sleep. The key is consistency. These practices work by training your subconscious to maintain sovereignty even in vulnerable states. Remember, you're not trying to shut down all experiences, but rather to establish clear boundaries about what types of interactions are welcome. When you do encounter a presence, your response determines whether you reinforce fear or cultivate sovereignty. Start by practicing discernment. When you feel a presence, pause and assess without panic. Ask yourself, does this feel threatening or curious? Does it respect my boundaries? Many experienced practitioners recommend a simple 3-step response. First, mentally state "I see you" to acknowledge the presence without engaging. Second, assert your sovereignty with a clear statement like "You may not interact with me without my permission." Third, if the presence persists, visualize it being gently but firmly escorted from your space by a protective force of your choosing. This approach transforms you from a passive victim into an active sovereign in your own consciousness. Over time, you'll develop what some traditions call astral discernment, the ability to distinguish between projections of your own subconscious, benign spiritual visitors, and potentially problematic entities. This skill is crucial for anyone exploring consciousness beyond ordinary waking reality. These real-world experiences find powerful fictional expression in Robert J.R. Graham's The Resonance Code. Fractured, where the protagonist James doesn't just feel a presence, he's violently pulled into one. After a confrontation, he's transported to Nowhere Land, a nightmarish constructed buffer zone between dimensions sustained by the Soul Collector, a parasitic entity feeding on trapped consciousnesses. Nowhere Land operates on the same logic as hypnagogic intrusion. Reality is illusory, allies may be fabrications, and the environment reacts to perception and fear. Your experience of something pounding on the bed to get your attention directly parallels the forces in the novel that seek to interact with consciousness at its most vulnerable, to distract, to feed, or to test. The trilogy explores how technology like the odd item dangerously formalizes and amplifies this natural threshold, prying open doors for entities that wage subtle warfare on consciousness. This fictional exploration magnifies our personal experiences into an epic cosmic struggle, revealing the stakes of learning to navigate liminal spaces. Just as James must learn to discern truth from illusion in Nowhere Land and confront the entities that sustain it, our practical exercises are training for what the trilogy calls astral sovereignty. This is the ability to maintain conscious awareness and intentionality even in vulnerable states between waking and sleeping. By learning to navigate your liminal space, you're not just getting better sleep. You're practicing the fundamental skill set of a composer, someone who can define the reality of their personal realm. Each time you successfully ground yourself, set boundaries, or respond with sovereignty to a presence, you're performing what the series terms a seventh unstitching, removing the parasitic threads of fear that allow these phenomena to hold power over you. This work has profound implications beyond nocturnal experiences, strengthening your consciousness sovereignty in all areas of life. The shudder you feel in the dark becomes not just a source of fear, but the first clue in a much larger journey of self-mastery and reality creation.